Other developing story, questions and concerns after an underground fire causes explosions, sending manhole covers flying into the air. It's the second time this week it's happened downtown. What if it happens again and this time someone gets hurt?
Here's what we know right now. IPL officials insist our underground transformer system is relatively safe, but say they can't guarantee this won't happen again. Officials say pinpointing the exact cause of this latest explosion could take some time. And state regulators have called an emergency meeting with IPL for tomorrow morning. Fallout from the explosion has lingered into the afternoon with power outages scattered throughout downtown. Chris Prophet continues our team coverage now. Chris, what's the latest?
Well, I spoke with IPL officials late today while a massive number of utilities workers are in the heart of downtown trying to restore the electricity. We're at the intersection right now of Michigan and Capitol. Lights are still out in this area, and as we mentioned, a great number of the workers right now are trying to restore that electricity. We want to give you some of the latest facts and figures. Now, 400 customers were without power this morning. IPL has been working to restore electricity in an area bounded by North Street to West Street, then Pennsylvania and New York Street. Late today, IPL said that they thought that most of these customers would have power restored by about 4:30 this afternoon, although they also said that 150 additional customers will be without power into this weekend. Also dead traffic lights on major downtown streets. Now here's what IPL says should be back online right now.
We've got the generator here now for the apartment building here on North Street. We're working to get it hooked up. We've asked Barth Electric to bring some additional small generators up. We're going to start trying to get some of the traffic signals back on along Capitol and Michigan before rush hour this evening. We're working with IMPD on that. And we're getting very close to being able to bring back power to the area outside of where the damage is.
So IPL says that most electricity should be restored now, except for North Street and right here at Michigan and Capitol, where they're working to try to get temporary generators in here. And we see one on a big flatbed truck that was just brought over here. One of their big concerns, in addition to trying to get customers back online, is to try and get these traffic lights back. And a great number of these businesses were affected downtown, not just customers, they're customers too. We'll talk to some of them coming up at 6 o'clock. Reporting live downtown, Chris Prophet, RTV 6.
Chris, thank you. And the power outage is hitting some downtown businesses hard. Dozens had to shut their doors for hours. RTV 6's Ann Kelly visited one popular restaurant that's still waiting in the dark.
Good evening. Well, I'm at Acapulco Joe's at Vermont in Illinois. The power went out here at about 7 a.m. and the manager tells me they tried to stay open for a while. They served people the biscuits and gravy they'd already cooked before the power went out, but then it became clear this wasn't a short outage and they needed to turn customers away and close their doors as the store wouldn't be opening anytime soon. So now they sit here, the cooks, the servers, during prime lunch hours, just waiting for the chance to be able to let customers back in, and that's really what it's been today. One big waiting game. As the owner of this restaurant, who you see there checking his phone for updates from IPL, explains they really can't accomplish anything unless the power comes back on.
Your heat's out, your stoves are out because of electronics, and your refrigeration's out. You have to keep everything closed because if you don't, you're going to wind up losing a lot of food. Even our fountain drinks are all electronic pumps, so we can't do anything.
All morning and now into the afternoon, it's the same for Subway down the street, for La Peep about a block away at New York and Illinois. And it's interfered today not only with these businesses and their employees and their ability to make money, but also with anybody who maybe had wanted to stop by in this area and grab lunch. Reporting downtown, Ann Kelly, RTV 6.
And we just spoke to Acapulco Joe's owner, Grant Redmond. He still doesn't know when power will be restored, but he says he's getting some help from McFarland Foods. They have offered him a trailer to store some of his food to keep it from spoiling.
Tonight, the investigation into the underground explosion is just beginning. The reports of multiple fires has raised questions about the safety of IPL's underground equipment. Call 6 investigator Rafael Sanchez joins us live with the details. Rafael.
Todd, good evening. State regulators are calling IPL to an emergency meeting tomorrow, and IPL's top leaders will be there. But right now at 5 o'clock, the biggest priority is what exactly happened. And for that, investigators now are focused on a bundle of cables just like this, several feet down below.
see that?
This was a sign of a major problem for IPL. Something went wrong with an underground 120-volt cable, which led to a series of blasts in the downtown area. Joe Bentley is Senior Vice President of Operations at IPL, and this is what the cable looks like at the heart of the investigation.
Problem started in one of these cables that had a short circuit from one of these cables, maybe some kind of impairment in the insulation that caused it to actually short circuit to ground, and that's what started the issue.
The company says it continues to inspect more than 1,000 manholes every 3 years instead of every 5. The stepped-up voluntary inspections began after state regulators raised questions about previous incidents since 2005. IPL says it learns from each individual situation.
When you bring this back, or when your crew says, we have it, what do you do with it?
Yeah, as part of our rigorous root cause analysis process, we actually recover all of the damaged equipment and we'll bring it back to our operating center. And then, depending on what we have, we may actually send it out for forensics to actually help give us analysis of what may have transpired and what actually started the problem.
After this blast last August near Monument Circle involving a circuit breaker that failed, the company will spend the next 5 years replacing a similar part throughout the system.
We're committed to replace 137 of those 480-volt, all of those 480-volt network protectors or circuit breakers over the next 5 years. So we've actually started that process as of now.
Back lies, so the cables impacted look like this, and whatever is recovered from down below will be taken to IPL's South Side facility for testing. There is no timetable as to pinpointing the cause of what triggered that explosion. All new at 6 o'clock, we go one-on-one with the president of IPL. The company often says that the system downtown is safe and reliable. Is it? We hear from her, and we also will hear from her as to what she plans to tell state regulators tomorrow. That and much more on our candid conversation at the top of the hour. Reporting live downtown, Rafael Sanchez, RTV 6.
All right, we look forward to that, Rafael. Thank you. Again, today's explosion was the second to happen downtown this week. IPL says the explosion that rocked Massachusetts Avenue Monday night was a one-time equipment failure. IPL says that incident has no connection to the explosion this morning. Fortunately, no one was hurt in that one. All right, you can go to theindychannel.com for continuing coverage of this story. You'll find a photo gallery from this morning, and you can also view the full news conference held by IPL officials earlier today. You can see for yourself. Just click on the story on the homepage.